Okay, y'all, let's just be real. When it comes to social media ministry, one of the biggest barriers for those of you who are solo pastors, Christian educators, admins in smaller churches is that members of your church may not see the value in social media ministry, and therefore they do not want their pastor or educator or admin or youth director spending their time on social media ministry, especially if it means they're not going to do something else that the church members feel is more important. So I just want to share with you 3 ways that you can talk to your church members, your boards, your sessions, whatever you have in your community to help them understand the importance of social media ministry. So, number 1, talk to them about the fact that some people will not be coming back to church. And that fact does not relieve us as the church of the call to reach them with the good news of the gospel. I'm going to say it again. Some people will not be coming back to church, but that does not relieve us of the call to reach them with the good news of the gospel. And today, in 2023, one of the best tools we have to do that is social media. So a friend of mine was in a meeting at the church she attended with some people talking about the fact that people, and especially their young families, had not come back to church post-pandemic or almost post-pandemic. And one of the members of this group said, well, young families are not going to come anymore to church on Sunday mornings at 10:30. And she was waiting for him to say, so we need to. And instead, after he made that statement, young families with children are just not going to show up on Sunday mornings at 10:30. He shrugged, crossed his arms, sat back. Like, well, nothing we can do about that. We're going to keep having church on Sunday at 10:30. And if they're not going to come, what can we do? Oh my gosh, y'all. And I know I'm preaching to the choir, but there's so much that we can do. And you need to be talking to your churches about the fact that just because people aren't coming through the doors, it does not relieve us of our call to share the good news of the gospel. And our best tool for that is social media. Number 2, get them involved. Talk to your session, your boards, your church members about commenting and sharing things that are on social media. If you have downloaded the blueprint, the Connected Church, an easy to use blueprint for social media ministry, and you've seen the worksheets for planning 1 to 3 months at a time, those are things you can download, copy. You can hand those out to your board members, to certain committee members, and ask them to fill out what are the important things coming up in the life of the church? What are some fun facts about our church? What are some stories about the history of our church? Get them engaged in that. People who have been part of a church for a long time love to tell the story of the church. Well, get them to do it and share it on social media. That's a second way to get them involved. Involve them in the social media ministry so that it's not just you and they are involved as well. And number 3, make sharing your social media stats, and any platform you are on will share your stats about how many people you've reached in a week, how many people you've reached in a month. Share those stats with your church board, with your session, with your membership. Show them numbers of how many people you are reaching. So, 3 things to help your folks get on board with the social media ministry. 1, remind them that people not showing up at church does not relieve us of our duty to share the good news of the gospel. Number 2, get them involved in the creation of the social media ministry. Number 3, make sure they know how many people you are reaching on your social media platforms every week, every month. It's going to be a lot more than the people who are showing up in the pews. I can almost guarantee you that. So I know that that is always a big struggle, particularly in small churches, for church staff to make the time, to create the time to do this ministry because it is not viewed as important as real ministry. So let's continue this journey on helping our churches learn and understand that social media ministry is the ministry of the church every bit as much as the other things that we do. And be sure and check out the Connected Church. You can download the blueprint by itself at any time, but if you want to join the chat group, we are going to embark on that February. I set it up so that our planning times are kind of in between the busiest times of the church year so that you can carve out time to do your planning in those, I know, you're going to laugh at me when I say lulls because you know that never really happens, but there are some dips. Let's call them dips. So it's set up to do that. So join me. Let's start in February, being serious about our social media ministry, taking it to a next level, reaching more people with the good news of the gospel. You can check it out at the link below, but whatever you do there, do those 3 things with your churches, okay? Help them to see that social media ministry is real ministry.